Being the best version of you, leaving people where they got you messed up at. Fashion Passion, the Inauguration. Via Shurielle Advising, art theft, and protecting your work. Let's start chatting about it. And new segment, Artist Spotlight.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome to The Situation. I'm your host, Via. You can call me V. And so we're going to start with being the best version of you, being the best version of yourself. I know that last time I said I was going to do it on neurodiversity, and I did have a slight change in plan. Before I jump into neurodiversity, I do want us to talk about leaving people where they got you messed up at. And then we're going to go into neurodiversity, understanding your brain type, your neurology. If you're dealing with toxic individuals, you're going to come across as unstable. And so unless if you ignore, obvious, fair. But, you do run the risk of developing neurological issues when you're dealing with toxic individuals as well. To be fair, science has actually confirmed it. The study, the data is limited, but the science proves that you can actually see with gray matter on a brain scan people who have endured narcissistic abuse. Either way, that's neither here nor there. I am saying, first, let's figure out who we need to cut out, and then we're going to talk about our neurology. So next episode of The Situation, where we're talking about being the best version of yourself, we will jump into neurodiversity. In this episode, we are going to talk about leaving people where they got you messed up at. I'm going to drop in a video that I did, and let's just watch about it. So this is a very controversial topic. The spiritualist in me, the Christian in me, the godly woman in me says, turn the other cheek, make amends, do what you can to salvage and save the relationship. But the human in me says, screw them. And so with this topic, I would always recommend seeking spiritual guidance, making sure you have peace of heart before you make a decision, making sure that you consult with God, because sometimes there are people who are brought into our lives as not just a difficult situation, but also a learning lesson. And you are supposed to engage with this individual so that you can achieve your maximum potential, because God is trying to refine you in some way. There are other times that people are sent into our lives, difficult people, in an effort to derail us from our path. How do you understand the difference? How do you know when you need to persevere past this person's BS and continue to elevate and be the bigger person, or when you need to leave them where they got you messed up at? I am a big fan, I'm an advocate for leaving people where they got me messed up at. Like, read between the lines, we're good. I'm good, I'm fine. I don't necessarily need this energy in my life. I don't condone this energy in my life. I am that person. If you're not coming into my space with some positivity, not even good news, I just need you to not be negative. You don't even have to be positive. Just don't come in here with a bunch of negativity, a bunch of pessimism, a bunch of judgment, insults, etc. If you're coming into my space with a negative tone, I don't really want you in my space. But what I've learned over time is that sometimes God will bring people into our space that rub us the wrong way. There's something about that person that you just don't understand, you just don't get, you just don't vibe real well with. And it's with intent. It is meant to refine you. It is meant to make you the best version of yourself, because if you can entertain and interact with that individual, even though they're rubbing you the wrong way, you can now entertain and interact with anyone. The other side of that is the people that come into our space and they're not sent with intent from God. They're allowed by God because God will ultimately use that experience to benefit you. Keep in mind, when I refer to God, I refer to my higher power, Elohim, Yahweh, Abba, Allah, universe, whatever you choose to term your higher power. I term mine God, but this is a safe space, whatever you choose to identify as. When I say they're being allowed by your higher power, I mean that while it wasn't with intent that they came into your space to teach you and refine you, God, universe, source is allowing it, because on the other side of you dealing with this individual is a blessing. And while they meant to harm you, they usually come into your life in an effort to derail you, to throw you off course. Why? Because they're sent with negative intention from the enemy. They are sent to manipulate, destroy, deceive, hurt, block your path, your purpose. On the other side of either cutting these people off, not dealing with them, telling them to hit the road, read between the lines, whatever you choose to term it as, is a blessing. It's something that you wouldn't have gotten to if you allowed them to derail you. What does that look like? That looks like the toxic ex that comes back after you have finally managed to get away from them, and you're just like, what are you doing? Why are you here? I feel like we know what I'm talking about. This is that person that, while you understand you're on an ascension path, here comes this individual from your past with their BS trying to derail your purpose and your progress. They're not sent from God. They're sent with the enemy to distract you. If you start engaging with this person, if you start going back and forth with this person, if you start sleeping with this person, going on dates with this person, what you might miss is that God has your intended spouse, person, boyfriend, girlfriend on the other side of that. Had you just said, no, I'm done with you, we're done with this, we've already seen what this looks like, you would have made it to the other side of that equation. That's not for everybody's ex. Some people, you're supposed to be with your ex. Y'all are just going through a rough patch. But a lot of time, toxic exes come back as you're on the brink of something really beautiful with a brand new person that the universe is providing you with. Same thing with toxic careers. You might be on the brink of really having a breakthrough idea of saying, you know what, I'm about to go out on a limb. I'm going to become that entrepreneur. I'm going to do this art. I'm going to do whatever. And there comes your former employer. Hey, we're short-staffed. Do you want to come back? And what are you thinking to yourself? Well, I could really use the cash. This might be a little slow moving. And here you go, being completely derailed. Another example, it could be that person that you were once really great friends with, but you guys just haven't been seeing eye to eye. Here they come back. They want to rekindle that friendship. They want you guys to be, peanut butter and jelly all over again. And there might not be anything wrong with rekindling that friendship. Just like there might not be anything wrong with going back to that former employer. Just like there might not be anything wrong with going back to that ex. But what if that friendship was toxic? What if every time you hung out with that person, you felt a little less like yourself and a little more like you had to meet their standards, or you had to achieve a certain goal, or you had to meet a certain criteria? What if every time you hung out with them, you cared more about them than you did yourself? Remember, you have to be able to assess the peace that comes from these people, from these places, these situations. I never condone entertaining toxicity. I don't think that you should be impacting your mental state, your physical state, your emotional state, your spiritual state, just to be around a person, place, or thing. So with that in mind, drop it in the comments. Let me know. Is there something that's creeping back around that you have to leave where they got you messed up at? Is it a job? Is it a person? Is it a relationship? Is it a place? Is it something that every time you interact with it, they completely get you messed up? They start judging you based on what they would do. They start looking at you like they look at other people and not like you. Are they always thinking the worst of you instead of thinking the best of you? Are they trying to make your life intentionally more difficult? This is what I mean by people who got you messed up. Leave them where they got you messed up at. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Next, fashion passion, the inauguration. Okay, so putting up a picture of Melania, who stole the show. Magnifique. She was perfection at the inauguration. So the coat, Adam Lopez, he is an American designer who went to Cornell. He's out of New York. Started off early on working with Ralph Lauren and the likes and others. About 2008, 2009, started his own Adam line. And in 2014, branched into Adam Lopez, and he is where he is today. You can find his stuff in Neiman Marcus and obviously at his own boutiques. We loved the coat. But what stole the show was the hat. It was fantastic. Oh, it was perfection. So the hat is done by a custom hat and handbag designer, Eric Javitz. I am dropping his Instagram here. You can follow him. You can see all the cool stuff he does. And he actually has a video showing his custom making of this hat. It's just amazing. And she looked so beautiful. I think it was just refreshingly gorgeous, if that is even descriptive enough. But always, as always, it would not be what it is without a little haterade. And here we go, putting up a video of Megyn Kelly and the antics. Let's watch.
You knew that Lauren Sanchez was not going to make it through this show without a mention. She dresses like a prostitute. She looked like a hooker. At the inauguration, she wore a corset and she had her boobs on display. I can't with this woman. The girls were out. She thought that, look at this. I can see the middle of her boobs. I can see her underboob, like right there. Right. This is absurd. She couldn't even keep them covered up for a day. And all over at the X was a picture of Mark Zuckerberg who was sitting next to her, copying.
He knew where the action was at.
Sneaky peek. I don't blame him at all. That's exactly
you
what
can't
she
look
wanted.
away. You can't look away.
Oh, I can.
It was like bombs out in the rotunda, and we were joking before the show, like, are we gonna?
No, Zuckerberg. I mean, who could blame him? again. That's why she did it.
Looking again.
It is.
So enough is enough. Look, Lauren Sanchez is Jeff Bezos' fiance. We all know her, most of us anyway. Beautiful woman, seemingly nice. Don't know her personally. Don't actually have a problem with her that I know of. Apparently, Megyn Kelly thinks she dresses like a prostitute. I don't know very many prostitutes, any actually. So I can't confirm or deny that, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't. And I'm going to say this because the thing that she is saying makes her look like a prostitute, apparently, is her cleavage showing. And so I'm going to put up a couple pictures of Megyn. You know, one being at the White House Correspondent Dinner in 2016. Right. So I'm not saying Lauren is perfect. Not saying that at all, because she does have a little bit of a risque flair. Don't get prostitute ever. I do get fashion forward. I do get, you know, trying to be in with the designers. This one specifically, who remembers this one? She did make headlines. Bezos' 60th birthday, hosted by Dolce & Gabbana in a Dolce & Gabbana lace dress. Okay. So I'm just going to say this. Seeming to me that the problem was that everybody's husband was staring. She's a pretty woman. Okay. And get over it. She didn't look like a prostitute, and that's unacceptable. Would I wear a lace bustier and an Alexander McQueen suit? I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. Such a low vibe. Ew. Next, via Shurielle Advising. So we're talking about art and art theft. And one of the questions I do get often asked, and one of the things I actually have to deal with as an agent or a publisher, is copyright infringement, intellectual property. And I'm going to play a video. This is from the account Necessary. Let's drop it in.
You want to know what's crazy to me? That for whatever reason, y'all feel like your favorite artist or favorite influencer or person that you look up to do not live in reality. They live in the same world that you live in. They going through the same stuff that you're going through, just with more money. It just costs more money, their problems. That's the only difference between you and your favorite artist. Because I saw a girl clearly show that one of these artists that's bigger than her stole her song. And y'all, oh, how she steal your song? It's a very well-known fact in the industry that major artists steal from artists that aren't as popular as them all the time, because they know that y'all gonna say that. They know that y'all gonna say, how did she see your stuff? She seen it because she looking. She on the internet scrolling just like you. Stop being so naive. When these artists say that these major artists are stealing from them, that should be true. And y'all discredit the real artists. Like,
so, it's not funny. I am glad she made the video. It's from the account Necessary. I do believe that she's speaking truth. There are a lot of artists who don't have as much visibility, who don't have the connections, don't have the resources, and they create things and you put them out there with the intention of garnering support and garnering credibility, and you're not protecting your brand. You're not protecting your idea. You're not protecting what you own. As the owner, as the applicant and owner of patents, I understand that it isn't just about protecting the idea itself. It's about protecting you as an artist. And obviously, artists, real artists, creatives, don't intentionally steal. We do find inspiration from other art, and we do need to give credit where it's coming from, and most do, a lot do. But if you find yourself in that position where you feel like your intellectual property, your copyrights are being infringed, your images, your words, your song, your music, your tempo, your dance moves. Remember, intellectual property it's vast. I'm going to put up the definition to IP. Let's go through it. Okay, so for those who don't know, they're legal rights that give creators exclusive use of their work for a set period of time. IP rights protect original works of authorship, such as inventions, literary works, and artistic works. Copyrights are what you give and put on books, albums, movies, images, a lot of things. Oftentimes you see when you're scrolling on the internet, copyright protections. Things like trademarks are intellectual property. And when you see things that go against a trademark, go against a patent, go against a copyright, you are now infringing on said rights. This is how we protect our art. And as I work for a nonprofit with art. I am part of the arts community in my community, and I work within the government for the arts. And it is so important that we protect our work. We have to protect our work. It is not everyone else's responsibility to protect your art. I offer free consultations in my advising. I do business, a lot of medium, large business advising, consulting, but it's advising now. But I'm also kind of venturing into personal advising as well. Given the ongoing litigation, anyone who feels that they need support in protecting your art or your work, or you're just curious to understand what you need to do, please just go ahead and go to the website. It's in the description box. Let me know, drop me a memo, a message. It'll come to me. I will respond. Additionally, I did want to take this moment to put this out there that I will be offering my services. There's a pro se bundle on my website, and this bundle will allow people to file their own cases, their own legal actions using pre-made templates that I have. Sometimes the courts provide templates, but sometimes they don't. And with, a certain amount of garnered assistance. And so if you are a harassment or assault victim on the job, particularly sexual assault, which is what I endured, I do want to offer my services complimentary for this pro se bundle. If you do not have the resources to get an attorney, if you do not have the resources to fight this, I am here to help you. I want to help you. And like I said, I'll do it. There is a price tag on my website, but if you just leave me a memo, drop me a message, and tell me what the circumstance is, I will do it just on principle. So, next, Artist Spotlight. So this is a new segment, guys. Like I said, I'm in the arts. I'm deep in the arts, and I'm a poet. I'm a writer. Apparently I'm a rapper now. It's a long story, but I do want to take the opportunity to showcase artists that I find I like, artists that I know. I do expect this segment of the show to eventually have guests, and because, like I said, I am an artist, and I know some pretty amazing people. So without further ado, Artist Spotlight for this week. She's coming out of Europe. She is Colombiana. Her name is Sasha Keeble, and I can't play too much of it because, YouTube, and again, infringement, right? This is what we were just talking about. I hope you guys like it. Check her out. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. And as always, love you.